All right, well, it is 5:30, so I want to take just a minute to interrupt the chit chat that we'll get back to in a bit and welcome everybody to Kind Soups. We are excited today because Denise and her friend Lauren are leading a delicious soup that Denise had last week at a friend's house, right?
Yeah, it's very appropriate that this thing started out with a kindness of Lauren calling up and saying, hey, I just made a big pot of soup. What are you guys doing? And I said, absolutely nothing. So that was our first taste of it. And it was so good.
I'm thrilled because I had copied it from the New York Times a couple weeks ago and was looking forward to cooking it. So thank you so much for this.
There you go. Well, she made it great. And I made it on a trial run during the week. And now we're going to make it all with you guys.
Fantastic.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah. I just want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome to our old timers and welcome to our newcomers, and a special welcome to anybody from Gaithersburg Presbyterian Church who's joining us. I see Ted there, and I saw Sherry come on. I'm not sure who else, but welcome all of you. GPC normally does what they call a super supper at the end of January. And because of COVID, they didn't have it last year, not having it this year. So we invited them to do a virtual soup event with us. So they're joining us at least for this month in making soup and putting it out into the community. And who knows, that might become the new tradition at GPC. And I also want to shout out to my friend Pam. Thank you so much for joining us, because Pam is joining us from Seattle. So we are a coast to coast KindWorks today. Isn't that cool? All right, so yeah, you guys know the drill. Probably we're gonna cook, we're gonna have fun, and then we're gonna feed our families, and then we're gonna donate this to any of the organizations that you see on our list, or any friends or neighbors that could use a pick-me-up. And in this weather, I know it'll be very much appreciated. So Lauren, I'm lucky enough to have Lauren come and prep with me for the last hour. If you have not prepped, don't worry about it. You have the recipe, so just start chopping the carrots and onions. We are using spinach. You can use kale. There's lots of different substitutions. As we always say with our kind soups, there's no right or wrong way. Whichever way you do this is going to come out great. We are using a combination of pork and turkey today for our meat. You can use one or the other, or you can make it meatless, whatever you like. And then just be sure to label it appropriately, the quarts that you do give away. All right, so we're going to start. I guess I should start by turning my stove on. So I'm going to go do that. And we're going to start with the carrots and the onions. Now, we have trickled the recipe. And I just want to note that we have, we put 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of olive oil for the sauteing. I may go lighter than that. I find that even though when we triple the amount of the veggies, sometimes it doesn't always need triple the amount of oil, but just go with your experience in that one. I'll probably start with more like a generous 1/4 cup or so.
And because there's pork in this recipe that we're making,
Yes.
has a little more fat, of course, than the turkey. So maybe you need less olive oil. I forget when we sauteed the garlic. Do you remember?
I think that comes in a little bit later.
Oh, add turkey, garlic, ginger.
You have your ginger? Oh, I do. Enough. I also have one of the things I find interesting is how many forms of any particular ingredient that you can choose, like exactly how lazy you want to be. So for my ginger, which this calls for, I'm sure, fresh ginger, I'm starting out with ginger that I have saved from sushi. Anytime we get sushi, which is fairly often,
Why
I just
not?
pop those little piles of ginger into the freezer. So I've
I
got this,
never thought of that, and my mind is
idea.
blown.
right?
My mind is blown too.
It's so fresh. It always smells so good. And I always hate to throw it away. And then I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
Great
So we've got
idea.
a little bit of that. And then the second laziest thing is actually the
Love
first
it.
laziest, the squeezed ginger.
Love
So
it.
we're going to make up the rest of it with that. And I'm sure powdered would work too.
How much ginger does it call for?
It calls for
Sure.
3 tablespoons for tripling it. So we're
9.
we'll probably have 1.5 here.
Mhm. You want me to chop that up?
Yeah, that'd be great. We don't need it.
I happen to use fresh ginger today, but I love this stuff too. The little
Ah.
frozen pellets
Oh, yeah.
of
But aren't
ginger
they
and
hard
garlic.
Aren't they hard to pop out?
Nope. You remember the old ice cube trays that we used to have and you
Yeah.
kind of pop them? So no,
Okay.
I think maybe if you let them sit for a minute or so and they soften up. But this is what I'm doing the garlic with these, but I did the ginger by hand. But I love these. I get them at Trader Joe's.
Nice.
I love Trader Joe's.
In the frozen section of Trader Joe's, refrigerated section?
I don't think it's in the frozen section.
I got these.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, they have frozen ginger, basil, garlic, and one other, cilantro, I think, right? Betsy?
I think so.
Yeah. it's
But
all-
I'm
it's
a
all
sucker for the ginger.
Someone has a question in the chat that I have a comment about. And my comment is, someone was asking if you make it vegetarian, would you use more beans? And certainly you could do that, or you could use crumble. But what I'm going to do that's different is instead of using 6 cans of beans, I'm putting in 4 cans of beans. I'm pureeing the other 2 beans because those who've heard me talk about this before, I like soups to look like something, you know, I don't like them to be too liquidy. So I'm going to puree 2 of my cans and put them in later.
Thanks, Marge. I'm glad you mentioned that because there is a thing in the recipe about if you like a thicker broth, you can smash some of the beans with the back of the spoon. They talk about doing that after you add it to the soup and turkey and everything else is in there. I found that a little awkward when I made it last time. So I think what I might do, and I'll have to consult with Lauren on this, but I may just mash some of the beans, maybe a can or 2 or before they go in, and
Yeah.
that'll help with the consistency.
Really
I'm-
thicken it up.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to mash. Someone sent me a recipe today that called for you to crush your own tomatoes. You should buy a can of the peeled tomatoes and then crush them yourself. And I thought, there's just no way.
Unless you have a tub. Do you have a tub in your garage where you can stomp on them?
Excuse me, I don't have a garage, but yes. I mean,
Oh, okay.
exactly. I could just go out on the driveway and stomp on them. Why not? No, this is why they sell crushed tomatoes because you can use them as crushed.
Well, there's a theory that those, when you crush them out of the can, that they're fresher tasting.
I'm sure that's true. In which case I can throw in 1 or 2 whole tomatoes and sort of balance out the non-freshness of a can, right? And that's easier to me again than crushing a bunch of tomatoes from a can. I don't know.
Don't disagree.
I have
Remember
a quick
when Martha
question,
Stewart-
if I can. I think I heard you say to put the garlic and ginger in now because the recipe says to do it later with the turkey. But so are we doing it now? Anybody?
Just a sec. About when to put in the garlic and the
Turkey, garlic, and ginger go in together. So
yeah.
if you are using meat, it goes in with that when you're sauteing the meat. So right now I I put in onions and I'm gonna grab the carrot. Oh, sorry, I have to, that's okay. You know, I'll put them in here. Whoops. Some for the kitties, yeah. These are as long as they stay. Our onions and carrots are sauteing right now, and recipe calls for sauteing until very soft and brown at the edges, 7 to 10 minutes. And I just asked Lauren if when she makes this, if she cheats, and she said she really doesn't. So that's probably, I'm gonna stick with the recipe this time, because I'm like, yeah, it's gonna cook in the soup, right? We're going for flavor, we're going for the real deal here.
If you're making it meatless, would you just add more beans?
Yeah, we had a question on that earlier. I know Marge had said she was gonna take some of the beans and add extra cans of beans and then smush 1 or 2 cans to release the starch and make it thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think that's a
but
good
it- But should you do like 8 cans of beans or something like that?
idea. I don't know. It's not really scientific, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 7 or 8.
Okay, the mantra is soup is forgiving. You can do whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
Soup will be happy.
I have
I
8
am-
cans.
Okay, I had read that comment and was commenting on it. I am making it with ground turkey. So hopefully it'll be good. And I'm using 6 cans, but I am pureeing 2 of them because again, I'm too lazy to smash. It's easier to puree them. This is why I have an immersion blender that Sherry Stahl's not on today, but she said to me,
So I don't know if this is helpful or it's beating a dead horse, but I use dried beans and I cook them in the Instant Pot. So I cooked mine a lot, you know, they're very soft. And so just even taking them out of the Instant Pot, they started falling apart. So for those of you who like the really soft beans turning into some of your, you know, thickening up your broth, Instant Pot is a great way. And the dried beans are a lot cheaper, Marge.
you know, the Instant Pot is living in my garage with that
Take it,
$10
you don't have a garage.
with that $10 million. Maybe they're $100 million, whatever it is. Yes, that's all living in the garage. With
You
the
still want me to use this whole other thing of spinach? I think.
Thanks for the thought on the Instant Pot, Deb, because I also got dry beans, mostly because they were out of regular beans. You know, the store shelves have been very, you know, severely, right? So, but I just did the boiling of them and sitting in water. So next time, Instant Pot. Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
So does it make a difference if it's cannellini beans versus Great Northern, or some of those are mushier or meatier than others?
Yeah, what kinds of white beans is everybody using? We have cannellini beans.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I think I got Great Northern just because that's what they had.
Hey Deb, I
Yep.
wanted to say, is that Rachel Lang there?
It is. We're cooking down in her apartment. How
Hi,
fun is
Rachel.
that?
It's Lynn Gertzog.
Hold on, I'm gonna pin you for her.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
can't see you.
Hi.
I will in a
don't.
minute.
You don't want to see me. Hi.
No? Okay, we'll keep you anonymous.
Well, I was over here crying because my mom's onions are like hurting my eyes.
Are you super tall now, or are you just wearing tall shoes?
No, she has no shoes on
I am not
and
super
I am
tall,
super
but
short, so she
I
looks
compared to
super
my
tall.
mom, I'm a little taller.
Okay, well, it's
I'm
nice.
sure you guys have all heard about how our stove is broken, so we're doing it here.
Ah, very nice.
So Lauren is busy chopping away at the spinach that we have, so we get some nice bite-sized pieces. That's going to be added in towards the very end. But as your onions and carrots are cooking, if you're
Yeah.
looking for something to do, that's a good thing to do. I'm measuring out the ground cumin into a
Yum.
little bowl. Yeah, I can smell that. It smells good. And I'll do the red pepper flakes too. I found that the amount on the recipe was just right for me. Lauren, do you ever play with the red pepper? I'm not very
No.
adventurous with the red pepper.
No, I'm not.
You guys are, you can go for it.
What a great idea for the ginger. Love it.
Hi, I have a quick question about the ground turkey. Are you you're supposed to like saute it and drain it before you put it in, right?
It does not release hardly any juice at all, the turkey.
Okay,
And the pork, I don't know what kind of, how lean it is that you bought, but it also doesn't release a lot of juice. And frankly, a little bit of pork fat, don't tell my rabbi, really adds flavor.
but you saute it first before you put it into the soup. You don't put it in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
No, you absolutely saute it first, break it
Okay.
up. It's ground, it tends to
Okay.
stick together.
We are.
I want to shout out and welcome Dee Jennings. Hi, Dee.
Hi, Cheryl.
Us for Kind Soup. I don't know if this is the first or second time, but
Well,
welcome.
it's my third time.
Ah,
I don't
If you count your
Okay,
birthday.
I'm sorry. Can I go back to the turkey question? Because
Sure.
I certainly didn't. So you're saying you don't saute that directly in the pot?
You do, you do.
Not,
You
not,
do. That's what I thought.
not in the soup pot, separately. You saute it first, you gotta brown it.
That's
My
awesome.
recipe here from the Times
Says to brown
says something differently.
The
Yeah.
tomato
no.
paste, but not in the broth.
Yeah,
That
it
does
is.
not-
Follow
that
The
this.
broth comes at the end, right?
Right. You don't have the broth in, but my understanding was it's the onions and carrots and then it's the turkey, ginger and
Correct.
garlic all in the
Yeah.
same pot.
Correct.
You're right.
That's how I did it.
Just clarifying.
Right
Okay,
there.
thank you.
But if you're using veggie crumbles, you would probably wait till the end, right? Because otherwise they get rubbery.
What do you think, Lauren?
The non-meat.
Oh, good, huh?
You know, I think you can put it in now, because of course, when you're cooking the soup, the carrots will also cook.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is right
Yes.
here. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Great. All right, so our onions are looking nice and golden. So we're gonna go ahead and add our tomato paste, cumin and red pepper, it's in here. And saute that for just about a minute and then add the meat if we're using it, and then garlic and ginger. Yeah, 3 tablespoons on that. Good with, yeah, estimating.
I'll have very generous spoonfuls. Is it only, is it 3 per?
It's 3 for the triple recipe, 3 tablespoons. So tomato paste, cumin, and red pepper flakes are stirred for about a minute. Tomato paste is not behaving. No, not leaving the spoon. Yeah, it's interesting. Pork does not have percentages of fat like beef does. Yeah, it's not the one I've got. My husband says we don't want to know. Yeah, that's probably
Although I
true.
think it's fairly lean compared to.
Yeah,
bacon
true.
or- Sometimes it takes a little while to incorporate the tomato paste I've found, but it'll get there.
Yeah.
You need to put the ginger in too, right?
With the meat, but
Okay.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the times need to be adjusted a little bit because we're tripling the recipe, so, but we're looking for like a nice brick red on the tomato paste. So maybe 2 minutes instead of 1, but it doesn't take long.
Good. So we're gonna add our meat
I'm
and
using one of the hacks that I learned from you guys through Kind Soup, which is I had opened a can of tomato paste and you never need to use that whole can. It would always go bad. Somebody told me to put like portion sizes in a plastic baggie in the freezer. And I just took out from the freezer and I have tomato paste.
Isn't that wonderful?
That may have been me. That's one of my tricks. So I'm also working from frozen tomato paste. But I did take it out a while before because of course I'm way ahead of you guys because I think I'm up to the crackers, cheese and cracker and wine time. Deb, are you not joining me?
I'm so jealous, Marge. I can't believe you just dangled that in front of me. She said she's done doing all the stuff, so she's already on cheese and wine and crackers.
Well, I'm up to, actually, what I was doing was I was chopping my kale. And for the life of me, I don't know how much 4 cups of kale is. I don't know. I never know. I just put in kale, chop it up. It is what it is. Anyone know how to measure kale properly?
No.
Yeah, right. Everyone does what I do.
I looked it up and a bunch of kale is about a pound of kale.
Okay, a bunch is a pound, but it doesn't say have bunches. Doesn't it say 4 cups? Or did I change that when I typed the recipe? I've created a little bucket here of kale.
So we just added our meat. We're using a pound of pork and half a pound of turkey. And we added the ginger and garlic and we're debating on the salt.
You can always put more salt in. So maybe I would just do 1 tablespoon.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I think the 1 tablespoon is the tripled amount. So we could even start with.
oh, this is tripled amount.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Never overdo the salt.
Yeah.
You can't take it.
Can't take it out. All right.
I think when you're giving something away, you need to be judicious on the salt.
Absolutely.
And let them do it because some people have real issues with salt.
Yes. True.
Good point.
Good point. You're doing all the work.
Do you want me to do a little bit more? Sure, you can stir. So we're going to be cooking the meat mixture until the turkey is browned 4 to 7 minutes. So it'll probably take that 7 minutes because we're tripling the quantities. And then while you're letting that cook and stirring it occasionally, you can make sure you have your beans ready. If you haven't taken them out of the can yet and rinsed them, they should be drained and rinsed. And I think I'm going to go ahead and smash a can or two's worth.
So did people have trouble finding ground turkey? Up here at our local Giant, the chicken part section of the fresh meat was wiped out.
When were you there?
All of the meat was wiped out at mine. I had it in my freezer, frankly, from another time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just happened to score, it was a 3-pound package of the ground turkey. So I'm freezing half and
Oh,
cooking with
great.
half, but I didn't, I thought, what do I do if I don't find that? But I was lucky. Yeah, the milk. I mean, we don't drink milk in this house, but if we did, we'd be out of luck because that seemed to be in very short supply too.
I was there, I think it was Friday. I was at the Potomac Giant and everything was decimated. And I was there again on Saturday and it was fine. Maybe it was Thursday and Friday. So, it was a very odd thing. I got my ground turkey with no problem at all at the Georgetown Square Giant on Sunday. I don't know.
Do you guys find that you're tempted to buy a little bit more of things than you usually do once you find it at the store?
Yes.
I have to resist the hoarding impulse. I keep telling myself, you're okay. You'll be able to find it.
Denise, if we bought a big package of spinach, how much do you think we should add?
Yeah, Lauren and I were just debating that. We had so I had a partial 1-pound container, so I probably used about 12 ounces of that, and then another, another 6 ounces or so, so about 18 ounces, a little over a pound. And then we're going to see how it looks when it's in there. We can always add some more. If you're using the spinach, you're going to add it really right at the very end. So just to let it wilt. So you can always add a little bit more.
And if it's baby spinach, do you still think it needs to be chopped up?
We did. Yeah.
Very roughly.
Yeah.
Rough
Very
chop?
rough. Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about buying more than we need. We tend to talk about what we call Costco syndrome here, where you buy like dozens of rolls of toilet paper and you think you always have toilet paper until you have absolutely no toilet paper because you had so much toilet paper. And that's what I looked in the freezer. I thought we must have this, we must have that. No, we've gone through everything in the freezer. So.
And you do run out.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be interested in at the very end. You're going to be wanting.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you say that again?
Okay. At the very end, when we add lemon juice, I'd be interested in a guesstimate of how
much on the lemon juice? Yeah, we have squeezed 3 lemons because we figured maybe a lemon for one recipe. So we'll probably put it in slowly, but we've got it ready.
Oh, that's about 3 tablespoons. That.
I would say, oh gosh,
a little more, right?
This is the bowl I'm using, so it's probably almost 3/4 of a cup. They were generous, juicy lemons, I have to say.
And they just brighten things. They brighten the soup. Yeah, I find.
Brown, you can tell with the tomato paste.
Yeah, but it's definitely cooking. It's really good.
It might be a little hard to tell how brown your meat's getting through the color of the tomato paste, but just give it the 7 minutes at least. I would say good.
Very much so.
All right. All right, so once the meat is browned to your liking, then it's time to add the stock and the beans. So I've got some that were smushed a little bit and the rest of the whole beans. So we're going to add those, and we're going to add the stock. And I am using Better Than Whole Done. Yes, thank you for the reminder.
I was using it for. And a lot of money was not there, so I don't think I used it up. I know, was this empty when you went? Yes. Oh, there.
Some, this 8-cup measuring cup, which is the best mistake I ever made. I thought I was ordering a much smaller one, and I got this in the mail. I was like, well, all right, this will work for soup. And what I do is I fill it up and stick it in the microwave for a couple minutes, and then when I add the water to the soup, it'll boil that much faster.
And cold.
So for all of you, if you want a big kick out of what's going on here, I'm cooking with my 26-year-old daughter, and she goes, I cannot get over the quantity of soup we are cooking. I can't get over the size of this pot. I can't get over the amount of onions and how much chopping. I can't believe how much compost. And now I just had her put in like 2 huge things of broth. And she's like, I cannot believe how much soup you all
And we
cook.
set the fire alarm off in my building.
So everybody who's like, oh, you guys are drinking wine too. Cheers, ladies.
So the story is we cook much larger pots of soup than this.
I think I haven't read that you rock.
We cook pots of soup. Okay, so my pot of soup is about up to here, which is about halfway. See it? We cook them up to almost, to the top. So this is nothing.
The parsley and lemon juice. So we've added our stock, and once I get the water in there, that'll be the rest of it. By the way, the reason I'm adding water, for those of you who might say there's no water in the recipe, it's just the way I'm working with the better than bouillon. Since it calls for 12 cups of water, I measured out 6 cups and put enough of the better than bouillon that is needed for the recipe into that 6 cups. And it's basically double strength broth. Pour that in, and then poured in the other 6 cups of water, since just the way I'm measuring it. But anyway, the stock and beans are in. We're going to get that to a simmer. And that's going to be for about 15 to 25 minutes. And once we do that and get it up to a simmer and turn it down for a bit, that's a good time to do any last minute things like either gather your bottle of lemon juice or squeeze your lemons and get your parsley, which can be dried is fine. It's going to add a very nice color to the dish, or fresh parsley if you have it.
Do you have any thoughts on herb combinations? I'm definitely using fresh parsley because I had it, but I was wondering if I should have, use, I don't know, dill or basil or whatever, chives. Any thoughts?
I've made this soup a number of times and I haven't had any fresh herbs, maybe just a little parsley, but it's so versatile. I don't think you really need them unless you have them in your fridge.
Okay. Thank you.
And you have a lot of greens from the kale or the spinach or whatever you're already using.
Well, we're still back to, I don't know how much 4 cups of spinach is, but this is how much I'm using. See this container? This is it. And it's almost full, and that's after it's been chopped. So whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is.
I tend to go more and more these days with weighing ingredients. I get really annoyed at recipes that call for cups of things. I'm like, really, do you want me to cut the spinach and then shove it into a measuring cup? It just seems like so much work. But if you Google whatever it is that you want to figure out what the weight of it is, I guarantee you there's going to be something online that says, 8 ounces of spinach. If your recipe calls for 8 cups of spinach, well, it's this many ounces. And then it's so much easier to use a scale for it.
Good idea.
I do that when it does cups of onion. I want to know, how big is a large onion? Is this a large onion?
Exactly.
Or is this a
Oh
large
my
onion?
gosh, yes.
I mean, I can tell what a small onion is, but once you get to medium and large, there's a.
Yeah, are we talking Costco size onions here? What are we talking? That's a good point, because I never knew.
That's one of the things that irritates me about recipes is that they say 1 onion without saying a measurement.
Yeah, the weights really tend to take all the guesswork out of it, so I appreciate it when a recipe uses that.
So a medium onion is about a cup if it's chopped. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This particular recipe, it seems like it would be, if you had fresh dill, this would be great. Dill would be great in this recipe.
I was wondering about that. I have dill. I have dill that was, when stuff starts getting a little sketchy in the refrigerator, I take it out and dry it and then put it, and then save it. So it's fresher than buying it in the tin, but it's still not really fresh. So I was thinking about mixing that with my parsley. While we're talking about recipe pet peeves though, someone sent me a note today. I sent out the Har Shalom recipe for this coming Sunday, which is a sweet potato soup. And the person said, but how many servings is that? What's a serving? Is it a cup? Is it a bowl? Is it a schissel? I don't know what it is. I never know.
Well, I think usually they say it's 1.5 cups is a regular serving of soup.
Mhm. Well, so I did
Not
make
in this house.
I did make the recipe to try it, the sweet potato soup, and I gave it to the person who had sent me the recipe, and her comment was, it needs curry. Okay, so I added a tablespoon of curry powder to the recipe, and I sent it out today. But it's one of those soups where it doesn't say you need 10 cups of water or 12 cups or 16. It's you put the vegetables in and then you cover them with water. So that this is kind of nice, if you say 3 sweet potatoes, are those itty sweet potatoes or they're gigundous sweet potatoes. So it really does, depend upon how big your vegetables are. So I think that's kind of a nice way of doing it, but I have no idea how big his sweet potatoes are going to be. He didn't tell me.
And curry is a problem too, because there's really hot Indian curries and there's all kinds of curries. You have to pick the one you like.
No, we use the basic curry powder from a co-op. It's pretty mild if I can eat it. But it will add that curry taste without, like you say, going off the charts.
Right. I've kind of focused on the Penzeys curry right now, but that we also have the ones that are really hot, but you have to be really careful with it.
I love Penzeys for their spices.
Okay.
So the Penzeys stores are closed though now. So you have to order things in advance and pick them up in the parking lot.
No, oh, okay. Not closed for business, just closed to, they just want to do pickup, is that right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a
Why is
pickup.
that? And they also have a minimum online, and then you can get free shipping.
For shipping, I don't think I've ever ordered anything from shipping.
Yeah, I think they're out in, I want to say Wisconsin, maybe.
Yeah, we are fortunate that there's one in Rockville.
Yes, right in Rockville. Yeah, I know. They're always really nice too when I go in there. Very helpful. We are almost boiling, and so we'll be simmering for 15 to 25 minutes. I imagine, I don't know, what do you guys think? Does a triple recipe mean that we'll be simmering for more like 25 minutes? I guess we can taste it.
Where do you get your sushi? Where do you like to get your sushi?
Oh, Lauren was asking where we get our sushi. We have a place in Potomac Village that's pretty nice, N Sushi. And,
Yeah.
well, delivery is actually the key component here. We have to balance sushi quality with laziness, and but it is good sushi. And
Are they still delivering? Because I thought they had stopped.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah,
okay.
it's only been several weeks. Jim says yes. I'm getting comments from the peanut gallery. Yes, they are still delivering. For anyone who wants to know. Yeah, and they have a nice menu because there's combination sushi and some Thai and Chinese dishes. So it's always good.
Well, that's good to know, Denise, because we have lost all of our Chinese restaurants up here.
No, really?
Germantown.
Germantown? Oh my gosh. That's no good.
That's surprising.
Yeah. We
So-
lost our longtime Chinese food restaurant in the village, but it was quickly replaced by another one. I think they knew the demand was still there. Something, I don't know why they left, but
Is it good? I haven't.
yeah, Firewalk is the name of the one that replaced it.
Oh, that's great. We learned to make our own homemade hot and sour soup, which is the main reason to go to a Chinese restaurant, in my estimation.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Well, there are so many international markets in this part of Montgomery County that you can get all of the ingredients for hot sour soup pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh, and we just had our session before this with KindSoups was a miso soup. Carol did an amazing miso soup, and while I was told that it wasn't authentic by my vegetable eating family because it had kale and mushrooms in it, it was delicious. But typically miso will just have the like miso paste and then maybe some tofu in it. And I went back and bought dashi, which I didn't realize is part of it wasn't part of the recipe that we tried last week, but I'm going to try that next and make like
Remind me what
version.
dashi.
Dashi is dried tuna and seaweed. I guess it gives it that authentic flavor, but it's really like a bouillon. It's supposedly not too hard to work with. My son makes it, so nothing against my son, but if he's making it regularly, it's not going to be highly complicated.
Potato masher. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's in front of my face.
So if you live around Gaithersburg, try 99 Ranch.
Oh, okay.
Which is where the what was it? Sports Authority used to be by Lake Forest Mall. And just wander up and down the aisles there. It's just astounding.
99 Ranch. Okay.
It's on what would that be? Odenhall. Near Lake Forest Mall.
You have to be a little intrepid when you go, because I find that it always takes me longer, and I always have to, search for things unless I can find some kind person to tell me where things are. Like I looked all over miso paste until somebody told me that it's refrigerated.
It's refrigerated. Yeah. It's just a cool place to wander.
Yeah. And there's an unbelievable specialty Japanese market on Rockville Pike. If you go a little bit north of Woodmont Country Club, on your left, there's a strip mall, and there's Tamari, which is an incredible Japanese restaurant. I think we eat there twice a month. It's a family-owned establishment, and the focus is not so much on sushi, but on more cooked and kind of donburi bowls. But upstairs, there's a large specialty Japanese market.
Wow.
Well, you all put these market suggestions in the chat, because I was over there kind of half listening and missing out and feeling like the fear of missing out. And if you guys could share whatever you were just sharing about all the different markets in the chat, that would be such a blessing. Thank you.
I will try. You know, my problem is I do this on my iPad.
Oh, okay. Maybe Cheryl, our scribe, will put some of this stuff in the chat.
But yeah, we can repeat some of
I'm off. I was busy getting my kale ready, but I'll get
All right. Cheryl, you're keeping up today. I'm so proud of you. And everyone should know Cheryl went out to her garden to pick fresh herbs in the snow today.
Yes, I saw the pictures. Wow. Yeah.
You know, it's just so cool that like in the garden, there's parsley growing and thyme and rosemary and lavender. And some oregano, but so I don't know what herbs to put in this garden, but in this soup, but you know, I took various things. Do you think that
Surprised you had parsley? Parsley?
is like, you know, going with the snow? I had to dig out, but there it was.
No, I mean, I keep rosemary and thyme and oregano growing year round, but not parsley. I don't usually bother with it. Interesting. Maybe I'll give that a try this coming year.
I will try and find, what was the place, Tamari or something?
Well, Tamari is the restaurant, Temari, and it's just a little family-owned place. And we eat there probably twice a month. And not only is the food excellent, but they have shaved ice for dessert, which my husband loves. And it's a Hawaiian and a Japanese dessert. They put condensed milk and fruit flavoring on it. I mean, he eats it, I don't. But upstairs from there is a large specialty market, all Japanese things, even cookware. And they ship in high grade, like sashimi grade tuna and salmon for whoever makes sushi at home. I don't, but. Always fresh, really good.
How are you guys doing? Does everybody have a pot simmering? We up to the adding the broth? All right, Deb's got it. Rita's got it. Good.
So I think I might have missed the discussion earlier on the greens, whether it be collard greens or kale, et cetera, because this said 3 bunches and it seems like that's such a huge variety. Does anybody like who's done this before can show a picture maybe of how much you're planning on putting in or something? Is there anybody like that? That has that?
Well, we did the spinach, which I prefer cooking with. So do you want to show again?
Yeah, the spinach we had said was probably like one of these plus another
There?
half. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that gives an idea.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Sure. And I should probably say, well, okay, no, we're on track even if you're using kale. The broth gets simmered the 15 to 25 minutes, and then the instructions say to add the greens to the pot after that and simmer 5 to 10 minutes or until they're soft. So kale, I don't know, may take a little bit longer. Just be aware of that. No, that's. What is everybody planning on serving with this?
Potato chips and red wine. Right, so
I'm going to be delivering
Multi-grain
this
bread.
to a congregant who is undergoing chemo. So I thought I would do the soup and a bowl and some cheese and then brownies.
Oh, nice.
Should I do a salad also, do you think? I think all the greens and the I think the soup kind of stands up on its own.
I think so.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Wish them well from all of us.
I will. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Homemade brownies?
Yes, I do brownies with a little bit of sea salt on top that are just divine. And I think they're really good for anything that ails you.
Yeah.
Okay, I just tasted that. That's incredible.
You want to share your brownie recipe?
Oh, good. Tasting good, Pam?
I will the next time. I mean, I have it in my binder, my binder of recipes. I think it must be online somewhere. Actually, let me see if I can find it online. No, in fact, I know I don't have it online. So I will, at our next cooking, I will put it into a document and share it. I'd love to.
Try it again because I did put more.
I love that she has a.
But you know, you can do any brownies and then just sprinkle the salt on top, and then you just kind of use a knife to kind of spread it around. And people say it's delicious and it's a little different. So whatever your favorite brownie recipe, even if it's from a mix. So.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Actually, the herbs made such a difference when we put the herbs.
So we got out ahead, and you know, that's not my normal place to be, but we think adding the herbs, the lemon, and some salt, mwah. Yeah, turned it completely into a different soup, and it's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna do a kind of before and after right now. We haven't added the lemon and the herbs yet.
So we used one lemon so far, and we may add a little bit more, but so far one. Whoever has not yet introduced themselves but is new to KindSoups, do you mind just saying hi so we can say hi back to you? I see some names I don't know yet.
I'm Lauren Silva Pinto here cooking with Denise.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you for leading and joining us and leading us.
Hi, I'm Pam. I'm Denise's friend out in Seattle.
Oh, hi, Pam. We're so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you. This
joining
is
us.
great.
Hi, I'm Sherry. I'm Denise's friend from GPC.
Hi, Sherry. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We cook every Mondays from 5:30 to 6:30. And anybody in the world, we'd always love to have you join us. It's fun to meet new people, and it's always fun to cook together.
Appreciate what you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Pam, where are you in Seattle? My most of my family lives out there, my daughter and my son.
Oh, really? We're in Queen Anne.
Oh, okay. So that's close. My daughter's in Freelard, and my son and his wife are out in Shoreline.
Oh, great. Oh,
yeah.
Lovely areas. Nice.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name's June. Where you can take your soup.
So far, we did that.
Well,
lemon. Yeah.
I don't have any place yet, but I'm going to give it to my neighbor today. And then I'm going to figure out how to do this because this is really fun. So this is a nice Monday afternoon activity for me. So I'll have to figure out a place here.
It's always soup weather in Seattle.
Yes, it is.
I'm saying hello. My name's June. I've done this a few times before, and my college-age son is joining me, and we've enjoyed the few times we've done it. So thank you.
Oh, terrific. We're glad you're both cooking with us today.
June, do you need me to take your soup tomorrow?
Maybe so. I'll talk to you about that separately, or I
Okay,
can
send me
drop
an
it off.
email and let me know if I need to, you know, if no one wants me up at Har Shalom, I can just go up past where you live and then get on at Montrose to go.
Okay, well, you should do that because I can drop it off somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. So far, no one
Okay.
needs me at Har Shalom tomorrow, so far.
Okay. The first one we did was a year ago today, and we, I'm not sure who might have been there, but it was KindSoup cooking Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite soup.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was really fun.
And yeah, that was fun. We did 3 different versions that day. with smoked meats or a vegetarian. And we were thinking about doing that again today, just because it's MLK Day. But Denise came up with this great recipe, and we thought, let's all cook soup together for MLK Day, but we'll try a new delicious recipe. So we're really excited, and it's delicious. So worked out.
It is. It's very good.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I'm glad you guys were cooking today because I'm normally at Food and Friends on Mondays, but they close early for MLK, so I get to cook with you today as opposed to by myself. So I'm glad to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for saying hi. Thanks for cooking together. We're just winding down now, so I'm going to leave it to Lauren and Denise for any last minute suggestions or reminders.
Okay, yeah, we just tasted ours and it's looking really good. I think we're gonna leave the salt where it is, but we're very excited to add in the lemon juice and the parsley. Oh, and we do have to put in our spinach too, so we're gonna be doing that now. And yeah, those are just the last minute additions. So again, for those of you who are using kale, you'll need a little bit of extra time versus the spinach. But if you've got spinach, that's a nice big bowl we've got here. 5 minutes should do it. And just add the lemon juice and herbs after the greens have wilted. Yeah, let's go for it. So that's just about it to finish this up. Does anybody have any last minute questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Uh-huh.
Gaithersburg Presbyterian Church is so happy to partner with KindWorks during January for soup donations. We historically do, as Denise said at the beginning, we historically do a super supper in January, and this year we are converting that into a contributions to KindWorks instead of getting together. And it's unfortunate we can't get together, but we're so happy that we can contribute a lot to the community through soup donations. So
we're thrilled too. Thank you so much, Sue. It's great to have you guys here. And really, we hope it doesn't need to just be a January thing. Join us all the time. We love cooking with you.
it is true. It is true. We just need to get them moving.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Enjoy the rest of your holiday day, and I hope those soups come out amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Denise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Don't forget to report in how you shared your soups, even if you're in Seattle or Oregon or anywhere else. All right. Thank you so much. The links are on our website. Bye-bye. Lauren and Denise, let me get one quick picture of the two of you smiling in that kitchen. Love it. Beautiful. Thank you. All right, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. See you at book group, Sarah.
Yeah, Lauren, take care now.